Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Just Realm Things. As you can see, I have done a few adjustments here. We've done a little bit of off-camera mining, so I'm going to quickly take you all on a tour of some of the things that I have done since the last episode, because there has been quite a bit done. First thing you'll notice here, there is now the beginnings of a bridge, and this is actually going to be the focal point of this episode. I want to try to come up with a nice looking design here for a bridge that connects my landmass, which is right here, with this one over here, which is mostly unfinished, kind of unpolished. Now, I've kind of set down the basic template of this bridge here, but we still have quite a bit of work to do on it. So I want to take some time today to focus on that. But there are some other things that have been done here. So first and foremost, as you can see over here, we have added in this lovely little courtyard area here for the villagers. Right now it's still pretty bare bones. As you can see, it's only stone brick, which I do have plans to eventually polish up with some different kinds of stone variants, maybe some gravel, other things like that, tough bricks maybe, things like that, just to add a little bit more texture. But I wanted to get down the basic template, which I think I have done pretty successfully here. And this stretches back pretty far here. Flanking the cow pen, which has now been expanded upon, as you can see, and flanked by some new buildings. So we've got the little butcher stall right here with some meat for sale and things like that, a poor cow about to suffer its fate, a little smoker, things like that, along with the villagers who operate it, being headed by Boris here. And then on the other side here, we have put together a little sort of witch's hut. This is also an original design of mine here. So this one I built in creative mode and then brought over into survival. Same with this right here. This is also an original build. So like I said in the previous episode, I was going to start doing some more original builds, things that aren't just kind of copy pasted from Pinterest. And this is one of them, as well as this over here. This one has not been decorated on the interior yet, but I wanted a place for my first librarian villager to go. Let's see if we can find her here. I've dubbed her Alice. Doesn't seem like she's in right now. We've got a couple of different clerics here. Clerics are, in my opinion, shockingly underrated as far as villager types go, since they give redstone and glowstone and lapis and, ender pearls and things like that. I feel like they're very, very strong as far as villager trades go, and I might end up getting more of these guys just so that the trades don't end up getting exhausted too early on, since honestly there's not that many trades available before they need to restock, so you can only really get so much, like say redstone or so much glowstone per day. But they're extremely useful to have, especially early on. These three will suffice for now, especially in the glowstone department, since glowstone is just kind of a pain, honestly. It's not impossible, especially with the addition of scaffolding and things like that. It's not super hard to get glowstone in the nether, but it's just easier if you can go and buy it, right? You pay for the convenience, basically. In the back of the Fletcher's Guild here, we have also added a little shooting range. So we've got some bows hanging up here, and there are targets for you to fire at, each of which have little redstone lamps that will light up if you are successful in hitting your target. Now, this does come with the issue that I can absolutely foresee happening in the future, which is stray arrows flying over this very small wall over here and, killing a poor villager who might be wandering around back here. Don't worry, I have thought of that. We'll have to eventually install maybe like a backboard or something like that and kind of have it propped up or something to make it look a little bit more realistic. But for now, since not a lot of people are actually using it, it's kind of more just for aesthetic purposes. I think we can get away with it. I don't know if I showed this in my previous episode, but we did tear down the little mason area. I just think it was a little too weak. It was small. It wasn't really that good looking, and it just wasn't it. So I tore it down. You can see the clip of me doing that here. We are going to instead kind of build a shop front, if you will, of connected buildings sort of right around here. I'm also planning on putting in a shop in this lot right here, as well as one in this lot right here, to kind of complete the look of this being sort of like a town hall, like a central area where all the villagers congregate here. So we'll have lots of different buildings and stuff like that. We'll probably increase the number of villagers that we have per role, just so we have more trade options available to us, and also just to make the place feel a little bit more lively, have more people walking around, all that good stuff. I'm debating on whether or not I want to build a facade around the villager farm just to make it appear a little bit more, I don't know, humane. There's something vaguely inhumane about, you know, all these villagers walking around free as can be, and then you have just this sort of corral situation happening over here. And then, of course, last but not least, oh, there's Alice. There's my librarian villager, who I got initially for just the name tags. I didn't care about the books or anything like that, although she does provide Thorns 3, which was incredibly useful in getting my god armor, which, as you can see, I now do have full netherite armor. Well, not full, obviously not the chest plate, but I do have armor trims on them and everything like that, so looking very nice there. But I got her primarily for the name tags, honestly, which name tags are going to be craftable in the next game drop. So unfortunately, Alice might end up becoming useless, but you know what? For the time being, she has been extremely useful in getting those name tags because obviously non-craftable, super useful for farms and for Happy Guest Farm over there, which take good care in naming all of their animals and things like that. So we have also increased the amount of crops that we're farming here. As you can see, I've built up these sort of stepped farms here, which does provide us with wheat, carrots, beets, and potatoes. So we've got pretty much one of every crop being grown here. The beets kind of haven't been filled in just yet. I had a couple of farmer villagers working on those farms. However, they very quickly ended up sort of mixing all of the crops together, and it was a disaster, so we don't talk about it. But of course, with the quick tour done, we now need to focus on the bridge, because as it stands, this does not look good at all, in my opinion. I think that this could use some significant improvements. My goal is to kind of have little archways that go underneath the bridge. I do want the bridge to extend all the way down into the water, so it would connect with the bottom here, which means that we do need to have some places for boats to pass underneath, right? Most of us have elytra on the server, but I still want to consider, you know, the option of travel without elytra. Eventually, my goal is to make it convenient enough to get around the world without elytra that you don't feel the need to use it, right? Because elytra, argumentatively, you know, it is an extremely useful item in, honestly, the early game, in my opinion. I feel like it's easier to gather resources when you're still starting up a world with elytra versus later game where you kind of want to just be able to walk around your world, not even sprinting, and just kind of take it all in, right? Sort of the theme park aesthetic of everything, right, starts to come together, and you're encouraged more, in my mind, to take it slow and enjoy all of the different things that you have built in your time on the server. So I'm going to go take a quick nap real quick, and then we are going to get started with kind of drafting out an idea here for this bridge. Let's grab my build box here, because I'm thinking we're going to want to play around with some different stone types. So we definitely want some tough bricks. Let's get stone bricks going. Maybe some cobblestone, regular stone. We're definitely going to need some of these guys. We'll grab these guys. Maybe some andesite would be nice. And I don't know about anything darker than that. I don't really want to go into the darker blacks and grays, like the deep slate blocks and the blackstone blocks. So I think we're going to stick with these materials here, and we're going to kind of mess around with these and see if we can create anything we like here. Do I already have a crafting table in here? I don't think so, no. Okay, do I have a crafting table in here? I do. Sometimes my brain likes to put the crafting table in the redstone box. I don't know why. Archways, right? How many blocks of space do we actually have to play around with here? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is what I'll call it. So we'll call it 20. So we're working with an even number. Now 20 divisible by, you could do 4 sets of 5 block spaces per arch if we wanted to do it that way. So I'm just going to use, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use stone bricks to kind of fill in some more space here. That's kind of been my thing, right? Stone brick is kind of boring on its own, in my opinion, but I like to use it to denote structure and then go back in and add the detail. And I found that that just kind of works a little bit better for me overall. So let's see here. What if we had maybe 2 smaller arches and then 1 really big arch? So how that could maybe look is, if we're doing it from this side here, right? So we have essentially a 1, 2, 3 block space right here. If we were to fill this in like this, let's just imagine this goes all the way down, right? And thankfully I have Aquafinity and Respiration, so this project's going to be a little bit easier, right? This now means that maybe we can kind of arch up like this, and then have a 1 block space, and then arch back down like this. And then maybe we do the same thing over here. And then like that, and then the same thing right here. Do we like this, though? Or can we make it a little bit bigger? I'm kind of thinking, I mean, I'm also imagining maybe this is stone brick stairs. Hang on. And then maybe we do something like this. And then that ends up like right here. Because I want this whole section right here needs to go ahead and just be filled in, right? So we're going to say from like right here down, this 5 block space is going to be... That's going to be its own thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There we go. So this becomes uneven, right? We've got... So if we do with this structure right here, with these sort of 3, I'm imagining these are going to be stairs, right? So actually, let me go ahead and fill that in just so we can visualize a little bit better. So this is my initial thoughts, right? But the issue is we have these little arches, and I think boats will be able to pass under them just fine. But then you get to right here, right? And I want this space right here to be these 5 blocks wide, just to kind of be a little bit more boxy on the corner, since, you know, we're going to have this corner piece right here, and this might even be inset by 1. Actually, it's almost definitely going to be inset by 1 and then go down, right, to kind of make it look a little bit more structured. But I don't know how much I love this, right, because then it gets cut off right here. So I'm wondering if maybe we do like 1 small arch, 1 small arch, and then maybe like 1 or 2 big arches that kind of fill the rest of the space. So I'm going to try that real quick and see if that looks any better. So I'm thinking maybe, yeah. But then another concern that I just thought of is if we're doing this, and we are going to truly set this one in by 1. Okay, so I was messing around a little bit with sort of the offset here. So we would probably have kind of this inset bit right here that then goes down further. And then I'm liking these 2 arches here, right? So we have slightly larger arches on this side and then slightly smaller ones on this side, just to kind of make a little bit more variance, which I actually prefer here. I think that the variance does look a little bit better overall. And then we'll just go down pretty much all the way down to the bottom with this. We'll fill in the other sides, stuff like that. And then we'll probably go and replace the different stone types for more texturing options. So we'll probably get some slabs and things like that. And then we can also start thinking about the top side, which is also pretty important here. All right, so here is what I have done thus far. We've got these sort of pillar structures here that are going down all the way into the bottom of the water here. I don't know why FreeCam suddenly started working again. Well, it's kind of odd, actually. I was just trying to figure out why it wasn't. We have these pillars going down. Obviously, right now, still early days. We've put in these little guardrails, which I don't know if I love, and I'm probably still gonna have to do one more over on this side, and we'll have to connect it over on that side as well. But I think it's looking pretty good so far structurally. Now, keep in mind, I'm talking structurally here, right? Because we do need to add in the texture, right? So we're going to add in some new blocks and things like that to break up the monotony of the stone bricks, which honestly are pretty boring right now. I'm thinking we're going to do different types of stone and some wood. But for right now, I'm liking the shape here. We are running out of stone brick, which I will need to go and grab even more of here in just a minute. But I think for right now, I'm pretty happy with this. So let's go grab some more stone. Let's finish up the guardrails here, and let's play around with that idea and see if we can make something that kind of works a little bit better in that regard. Alrighty, we are just about done here. I've gone ahead and off the time lapse, I've gone under and I've added some texturing to the bottom here using some gravel as you kind of get closer to the bottom here. Under the kind of underhangs here, I decided to go with some of the tough blocks just because it looks kind of like a little bit of shading, kind of makes it a little bit darker kind of underneath. And I figured that would look kind of cool. Now we do need to figure out the lighting. I'm thinking that what we can do here is set up these lamp posts. If we go up by 2 and then over by 1, I think we can kind of create a cool little effect here. I'm wondering, can I place it from down here? I can. Okay. So I'm going to place these lanterns like so. And let's see, how does this look? Oh yeah, that looks great. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Let's make some more of these guys. There we go. 32 should be good. More than good even. Let's place the rest of these. We're going to place them right here on these blocks. Just like this. Let's do the same over here. There we go. Let's place one right here. I'm thinking we can kind of do this one maybe one higher and have it go kind of like this. There we go. And then the same over here. Let's go like that. And let's place them on the outside. Like this. Let's see. How does this come across? How does this look? Let's see. I'd say it looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. And then there's one other thing that I want to do here. We need some vines and some leaves. So just get some leaves here. Do I have any vines available? I do. We have a few vines, but we don't need too many because we're going to let them spread just over time. I want to put some stuff here on the outside. So I'm thinking like maybe like a vine right here, and that will grow down into the water. And then maybe some like kind of leaves sort of coming down around like this. Maybe we even waterlog a few of them like that. And then let's maybe have like one kind of coming down like this. And then over here, we definitely need some because we need to break up this shape here a little bit. So let's do that. Maybe come around like this. Maybe a little overhang like that. That does make it impossible for you to cross through a boat like that, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. And then right here. And then maybe some over here. Just kind of getting some variation. And then we definitely need some on this side. I'm thinking kind of like right here. And some over here. And maybe we need one over here as well, actually, just to have some continuity. And then for the vines, let's place one right here. Maybe like one right there. One right there. Let's do one like right here, here, and here. And I think once these vines grow, it's going to look really good. One right here. Oh yeah, and I'm thinking once these grow, these are going to be fantastic. And so there we go. We have our finished little bridge here. It's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I think that this is going to make it a lot more, I guess, logical how you get across. Because beforehand, you're just kind of traveling across, whether by horse or by boat or just by swimming or flying. But this just kind of makes it a little bit more accessible, which was my goal here, is to kind of make it feel accessible without elytra flight. So that's one project knocked out of the gate here. I'm thinking for the next video, what I want to do is I want to work on the dock. So I want to make a dock over here, maybe right about here, right? So we'll create a little dockyard and it's going to come out, and I want to put a boat into it. I've never built a like large scale pirate ship style boat in Minecraft, so I think doing that would be really, really cool, and I think it'll add a lot to this little lake area here. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, we have finished up this lovely little bridge here, and I'm extremely, extremely happy with it. So thank you all again for watching. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!